Title of this video is Honoring Friends and Spiritual Life. Now, I got a lot to do. I was trying to wait to at least cool down a little bit. As you know, it's been extremely hot. I'm starting to get in the motion of things that got to get done today because then I got a whole lot of other stuff to do the next 2 days. So I go downstairs and I say, well, first thing you want to do, because you know when you got a lot to do, you try to put on some type of music you like to just motivate you. So I turn on the TV and start at the bottom, and we have a whole bunch of selections of different types of music you can listen to. So I always start at the bottom and go up until I decide. So I hit channel 1799, and this video that y'all are looking at. Now I had just seen it and it was real quick, so I jumped online and wanted to see the video again. And because there was a lot of stuff going on. That's what I'm trying to tell you about spirituality of life. And the more I watched that video, the more the red hair girl stood out. Not only was the girl in the video red hair, but the singer is red hair in the video, Jess Glynn. And Jess Glynn looks like this person I'm talking about, the way she looks now. So that's why, and not just that, the Asian young man, he looks just like this guy that I work with. And I just got finished telling you all about the name Sam in the Bible, and his name happens to be Sam. So this is why I do what I do and believe what I believe, despite the fallacies and foolishness of the people around me. Everything that happens for a reason. There is somebody higher than you overseeing everything. And this is why you have weird deja vus and weird synchronicities and weird whatever. Everything happens for a reason. And the more you in tune to the universe and be quiet and let the universe talk to you, the more you'll get your answers. You'll get your answers of what's going on. Like I said, in October 2017, when my doctor totally disrespected me at a dark time for me, but now I look back and see there was a reason by it. Why he doesn't sign paperwork and stuff like that. There's a spiritual reason. Because once you start getting in bureaucratic, you went to bureaucracy, you stop trusting in the Most High. So there's a reason for everything if you don't like it at the time. And for people that have walked with God like me and know he exists and know he's real, you don't want to let a situation cause you to doubt or forget, no matter how it looks. And even when something looks horribly terrible, you still got to know what you know. If you know, everybody's not a spiritual person. But that doesn't stop the fact that everything happening around you is for a reason. For a reason. For a reason. Just like stuff I've been through, even stuff with my twin flame and stuff like that. I see all this stuff going on in the news. And I'm wise enough to realize none of that shit's none of my business. None of that shit's none of my business. And again, when you really walk with God, you begin to realize that certain things you can do if you want to. You can vote, stuff like that. But other stuff is really none of your business. Like, you got a battle of darkness against light going on right now. And you're in a major transformation. And right now, Pluto is getting ready to enter Aquarius. And that's it. That's going to be a major change. And God has supplied people to help people through this change. I've named a few of those people on this channel again today. So either people want to listen or they don't. And again, you really can't change what a person's going to do, even if you really wanted to. That person has got to want to make that change. So now getting back to this video, it was shocking. See, the red haired female, when I was a young kid, just like these two were young kids. And I don't know, I guess it was junior high. We called it junior high back then. I don't know what they call it now. And they might call it intermediate or some crap. Because when I went to school, 9th graders stayed in junior high. But shortly thereafter, they started putting 9th graders in high school, which I knew was a big mistake. But I knew that was a demonic mistake. Because here you have little girls that are only about 14. They're going into a school with 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds, and 15-year-olds. And I knew it was going to be a lot of pregnant girls coming out of that. And that's continued to this day. But, people don't want to call evil and stuff like that in the world we live. They'd rather go through all the heartaches and all the stuff as a result of unwise behavior or disobedient behavior. But so is life on planet Earth. And that's why we're in a major overhaul right now. Major overhaul. a battle between darkness and light. So now, to be totally, and plus, spiritually speaking, people could say whatever they want to, but it's always been like a blonde, even when I was little, because it was another female. Me and her weren't friends. Like me and the red hair, we were friends, but the blonde, we weren't really friends. We weren't all in the same classes. But I remember one day we used to have gym outside, and I remember that blonde female, same age as me. Now these are like 8th grade kids or something, same age as me, coming up to me and saying, she just said, "You're going to be a preacher." I said, "Huh?" She said, "You're going to be a preacher." And I wonder, why did she say that? Like, we don't even talk. What are you talking about? But she was right. And throughout my life, whenever something was going on, it was always a blind that comes up to me and reminds me of my calling. Always. This still goes on to this day. One time for my birthday, it was me, my brother-in-law, and my sister in the Berkeley Hotel, Asbury Park, New Jersey, down by the boardwalk. We went into Berkeley. It was a band playing and stuff like that. And one person had went somewhere, so we were standing there waiting for that person to come back. And so this heavy set white woman walked in the Berkeley Hotel, basically the lobby bathroom area. She walks in, she looks at me, she walks, and then she stops, turns around, looks at me, and she goes, "There's a preacher in here." She's like, "There's a preacher in here." Like, she's like yells that shit out. But this shit happens like all the freaking time. So again, the universe has its way of letting you know what your calling is. And there's a reason for everything. Ain't nobody was to say what was that about. But I don't know. Because it's your birthday, maybe get a little wild. But I don't even drink no more, so it wasn't even nothing like that. But you know, you might say, "Well, it's my birthday." You might have one, and you know, you have one, you have two. But that night I didn't drink anything. And then we did make it to Atlantic City, and the woman that was handing out the drinks was so freaking mean that I didn't even ask, because I didn't feel like dealing with her. I like, man, I don't. Because it's always on my birthday, it's always somebody that crosses the line with me. And I hate being angry on my birthday, and I hate being disrespected on my birthday. So some of the times I just find a secluded way to celebrate my birthday, because I don't want somebody, and it happens all the freaking time. Like, somebody always crosses the line. Like, one place we went, it's a place I used to go to regularly. I ordered the same thing I always order. Not only did the woman mess my order up, then she wants to argue with me that this is what I ordered. Now, I don't be like being called a liar. Plus, I'm real heavy on customer service. I work in customer service. I'm an old school customer service type guy. I don't like you telling me what I ordered, and this is not what I ordered, and I don't like you calling me a liar. And in her world, they think it's cool to talk back and be disrespectful. This is New Jersey, and this is the conduct out here. But I don't play. So it was that experience alone that said, from now on, I'm going to celebrate my birthdays differently, because I'll be done told somebody off and got myself in trouble with the law. Another time, I called, talked to the people on the phone, ordered everything. I was supposed to go pick it up. From the moment I walked in, this guy had an attitude. This, again, on my birthday, there's another birthday. He had an attitude like I don't know what. Very disrespectful. So I'm getting more angry, and angry. He doesn't want to answer any questions. Told I didn't hear nothing about your order. I don't know what you're talking about. I said, "Well, who do I talk to?" He don't want to tell me who to talk to. So I start pushing this guy, like, as far as my intensity. Like, I need you to tell me who to talk to. Like, I really started telling this guy, you know, you're not just going to disrespect. Boom. So he finally tells me who to talk to. Now, the guy I hadn't even talked to owns a place. This place is in the hood. But now I felt like I was in a Spike Lee movie, because you have a guy who does a lot of business in the hood, but he talks to the people in the hood like they're garbage. And I never knew that. I heard about him. I knew people that knew him and said he was an a-hole. But this was my first time meeting this guy. He was an a-hole, like a a-hole to the Trinity, to infinity. So then me and him get into it, and now I'm not backing down, because I feel like I'm being disrespected. And all I wanted to ask the guy was this, for anybody thinking I was being a badass. All I wanted to ask the guy was, okay, it's okay you messed my order up, but do I owe you any money? Is there anything here that's mine? I'll pay you for it. That's all I was trying to ask him. He wouldn't let me talk because he had no respect for black people. But you're in a black neighborhood. So this guy would not let me talk, and he was making me more and more angry because he was just arrogant. Everything I said, he just kept coming back. He was way more disrespectful than the other guy. So I felt like I was in a Spike Lee, I think that's the Do the Right Thing movie, where you got all these melanated people moving into the melanated area, making money off these people, but talking to these people like garbage. And I saw the same conduct when I was in Asbury Park, New Jersey. That's why I stopped going down there, because I said, listen, I'm not going to liberate everybody, because everywhere I go, I got to be the one person that stands up to the garbage. That's a fact. So I said, listen, man, forget all this craziness. So then he tries to throw me out, and I won't leave at first. I just keep looking at him like, why don't you come and try to throw me out? Because at that point, I didn't care. I didn't care who was coming in. I didn't care what happened. So finally, I just walked out and just stood outside for a little bit. Then I just left and never been back since then. Because I know where I'm at. I know how racism ends, and no matter what, you're going to be wrong, no matter what. So, going back to the old days when you were dealing with the little BS that children deal with when they're in school. So she was the one person I talked to, which I never really thought much of. But she and I used to talk a whole lot. You know, I don't know. Because I don't remember our conversations, but I do remember her, though. And she came looking for me like over 40-something years later. It was kind of crazy. Looking for me on classmate.com and classmates, I guess.com. But neither one of us had any money as far as, so we still couldn't talk. But I knew she was there. And finally, they had a sale for 3 months or something. So she did the sale. Then she contacted me or whatever. So we were just talking about, you know, that, what we used to talk about. But like I said, I really don't remember our conversation. She does. She remembers the conversations. But I'm, high school stuff. I guess like people saying we're not cool or whatever, we are cool or some nerdy stuff. I don't know. So she remembers that stuff. So it was funny when I saw this video, and I just saw it. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. I just saw the video, and here's this kid that feels like nobody wants him, and he's got this red hair female that befriends him. So I sent her that. I said this song, which is called "One Touch" by Jess Glynn from the UK. I said this song reminds me of you, and plus she looks like Jess K now, almost exactly like it, because she still has a red hair or whatever. And she likes to use the phrase jaded, but she's a mystical person too. So that's why I said everything is for a reason, because she's mystical too. So me and her talked about a couple of things, metaphysical stuff like that. So when you see all this, you know that there are people looking out for you. Now, whether you call them angels, spirits, whatever you want to call it, but they're looking out for you. And that's why you see this all the time. And that's why things happen for a reason, even if you can't fully understand it. And that is the spirituality of life. Now, a lot of people don't get that, and this is why they go further away from spirit, or they want to take shortcuts, or they want to make things happen no matter what. But that's like a hard-headed person. And so what happens to a person like that? They make their bed hard. That's what my parents used to say. You make your bed hard because you're hard-headed. So then they got to go through life with all this dysfunction and all the stuff you see people. Large amounts of money they got to pay somebody every month and all kind of crazy stuff, in and out of court and all that. But that's because these people don't listen to scripture. They don't listen to anybody with any real logical sense. They just listen to their penises, their uteruses, and all kind of stuff. Low down energy. And I want to say it again. Everything has to be balanced. And what happens is when you balance emotions with the mind, you wouldn't make the same decisions. And then there's such things as discipline and things like that. But the moment you begin to use spirituality, you balance your emotions with your mind, and then with spirituality, let spirituality lead, you begin to get answers. Let me just give you another example. A lot of stuff's going on. Like I said, you see a lot of stuff in the spirit realm. Your intuition tells you. But I had made an order one night recently, and I didn't know if the place was getting ready to close or not. I just said, man, I'm hungry. I'm sick of eating the stuff that's here. I'm gonna order something. And then usually they come quick, like unbelievably quick, in the daytime or whatever. But this was at night, and I was like, well, maybe they do have a lot of orders. Who knows? and it just didn't look like nobody was coming. And I was like, well, maybe they just figured, well, why would this guy wait till like? Because I don't know when they close. I'm assuming they may close around 9, but usually in the summertime, people stay open later. I really don't know what their hours are, and I don't have a menu, and you can see them online, but doesn't necessarily mean if you go online you're gonna see the business hours and nothing like that. You may not. And I was exhausted. I was not trying to look nothing up. I just was hungry. I wanted to eat. But it started getting late, so I ate something else and cut off all the lights or whatever, and I was ready to go. I left the phone on in case they do come, but it just seemed like to me ain't nobody coming. And then the phone rang. So my phone. So picked it up, and that person was like, yeah, they was real cool though. Like the person was a female. She was real cool though. Like so I went out there, but she was just really cool. Like this, like no worries. She was like really cool. She reminded me like a Midwestern person, cause she didn't have the typical fast paced Jersey fuck you attitude, but she was like really cool. And she was just asking me like, where's your address, because I couldn't find your address, and that was the most important thing to her, I guess, because as a delivery person, she wants to know where we put the address, so next time she goes looking for a house, she'll know where to look, because she's like, I can't find your address. I'm like, it's right there. But it wasn't just the address, but I guess it's the material of the numbers. I guess it's real hard to see unless you know where it's at. Then once you shine a flashlight on it, it should illuminate. But she was real cool. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, just about a day or two before that, another female from a different location came. Now, I know her from 2014, 2015, when I was in my twin flame situation. So I was coming home depressed and sad every day from my twin flame situation. And I used to always talk to the delivery person. I go, oh, I don't forget. I don't remember everything I was saying, but I know it was something like, oh, whatever, what was me or some shit. Some type of really depressed shit I used to say to her. But I made it funny though. I made it funny, and I was like taking all my frustration and like making a joke towards her. So me and that delivery person became like kind of like friends because of that. And even one time I called that place up, and she actually picked up the phone, and she wanted to talk longer and shit. So that's why I be saying, usually with a lot of people, it's just a matter of communication. But some people don't give you communication for whatever reason. Whatever the reason is. Don't like the sneakers you got on, or don't like the way you look. Whatever it is. But the same person, if they had communication, now you got somebody that's interested. And I've seen this all the time. That's why I don't really trip off of that stuff. I still remember a day in high school, senior year, where my friend had made a little reputation for himself. And he used to be he was really introverted. But me and my other friend, we kind of pushed this guy and turned him out, basically. Started drinking and whatever we did when you're young. So he became a different dude. And so he just became a different dude. He had a lot of females and stuff like that. He went from being like a nobody nerd to like the guy everybody wanted to know. So one of those females brought her friend to see him in the gym. We were in the gym. So that female looked at her and said, how dare you? She said, don't you ever bring me somebody that looks like that. She's like, don't you ever bring me anybody that looks like that. And then, the other guys heard that and they were laughing at him. And he sat there. He ain't say nothing. So that weekend there was a party. And after that party, that female couldn't get enough of him. Like she was like a certified groupie on him. So I didn't go to that party. Whatever happened at that party, whatever he did or whatever went on, she was certified. Like she went from saying, oh, this goofball, this goofy looking dude, how dare you bring me some goofball like that. But whatever he did at that party turned her out. So that's why I don't worry about, none of that silly shit. Because a lot of times people see you one way, but they don't know. They don't know how you react to stuff. They don't know what you know. They're just going by eyes. And that's something a guy named Doc taught me. Like women see with their eyes. So the point I'm trying to make to people is this. It's just human nature to always worry. Like you think you got to be with somebody, but maybe it's not spirit's direction for you to be with somebody. And of course you go, well, if it's not spirit's will for me to be with somebody, why are they always around? Why? And I used to try to tell people this back in 2014. I used to say, if it's meant to be, who can stop it? So I don't have all those reasons of why, the synchronicity seems a certain way. But I am smart enough to tell you, what's ever meant to be is meant to be. Even that female that pulled that other delivery driver, there's a reason why she couldn't find the address. There's a reason why she got there the time she did. There's a reason for everything. Now, does that mean it'll be ongoing? Maybe, maybe not. But there's still a reason for it. Even there was another delivery female that used to come here. When she first used to come here, she was very apprehensive. Because here's this black guy coming out or whatever. So she doesn't know what to expect. But I always tip and stuff like that. So they like that. And I think one time, I think it was her sister that came. But I thought it was her. Because this is a family business. But I thought it was her. So I'm used to her not talking to me and not saying nothing. But I always tip her. So that other female was standing and I tipped her. And then she was like, she was still just standing there. And she just looked at me. She was like, but I thought it was her, but it was her sister. And she was like, you want some money back? I said, no. And then she looked at me. She like, thanks. She was all happy and shit. That's when I realized it wasn't the same female and shit. I like, damn, why she acting all friendly and shit? I said, that gotta be her sister. Because I know it's a family-owned business. So then her sister would come back, and her sister would never really speak or nothing. Just would give the food, never say shit. And then the only time her sister started being more friendly towards me was one time my mother said something. Because my mother always tried to get up in the mix and something. So my mother said something. So she heard my mother telling me something. I don't remember what it was. But my mother just said something to me. And then when she seen my mother, then for some reason she started looking at me differently. Like I guess she didn't see me as a tough guy no more. And I think she was intimidated by me. But I wasn't trying to intimidate. I'm sorry. That's race. Blame America. Like that's racism. I be minding my own business. I'll be trying to intimidate nobody. I'm not afraid of nobody. I'm not gonna back down once you disrespect me. That ain't happening. But other than that. So the purpose of this video was just showing you how this stuff works. And it was so cool that I saw this video. But there's a reason why I saw the video. Just like when my friend sees this video, she's gonna flip out. She's gonna say he's right, it is like us. And she's gonna realize she looks like Jess Glynn, even now. That's why that really shocked me. But that's the power I be trying to tell you. Even that person you're friends with in high school and y'all fall out of contact. Obviously, she was still thinking about me. She still remembers the conversations we had over 40 years ago in junior high school. How is that possible? I don't remember. I know basically what we talked about, nerd. Like, we're not nerds, or they treat us like nerds, and stupid shit. That's what little kids talk about. I mean, if you're a nerd. I was a nerd, okay? Who cares? So was she. So like, but other than that, I don't know the crap we talked about and shit. But it was kind of cool, because, see, it was very racist. See, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Even my twin flame, her ethnicity is very controversial, especially now with this new president. Because when he came in, that was the main people he attacked, and he's still trying to attack them. And they also, the Pope Francis made some bad remarks about their country. So what I'm trying to tell you, everything happens for a reason, and sometimes you have to learn to stop being so damn selfish and be quiet and let spirit talk to you. And the more you start to grow spiritually, you realize everything will be all right if you're doing your part. Like Archangel Ariel, her card of prosperity says, listen, as long as you follow your intuition and learn how to manifest your dreams into reality, you will have your needs will be taken care of. So there's really no need to be worrying about this or worrying about that all the time. And anybody that crosses your path, either good or bad, they're there for a reason. So another friend, even she's an older friend than this red-haired female friend of mine, because the red-haired female was like 7th, 8th grade or so. I got another friend from like 5th and 6th grade, a totally different school in a different part of the township. Now, me and her got a long history of runner-chaser shit. See, all this stuff is soulmates and soul tribes and friends from previous lives and all that. And the universe is going to send synchronicities like this video to reinforce these things, to keep it in your subconscious mind that there is more to your life than what you're being told by the powers that be. So again, in the early 1970s or whenever it was, this other friend, a melanated female of color, introduced herself, or whatever the case might be, and I didn't follow up, but I kind of regretted it. And that's early 70s. So then sometime, then we all went our own ways, because we never really talked. We were never friends. And so then somehow, I don't remember if it was the 80s or the 90s. I honestly can't remember which one it was. But I saw her again. I would regularly see her again. And I was going out of my way to talk to her, trying to connect with her. And now I'm talking about my melanated friend, female of color from the early 1970s or mid 1970s. And, you know, she would blow me up, but she did give me her number. I was going out of my way to talk to her. And then I was talking to her on the phone. I guess my rap was whack. And she just hung up on me. So that was it. And I can't remember if that was the 1980s or the 1990s. I really can't remember. And I never heard from her again until recently. Like a week or so ago, she contacts me through classmates.com. You know, and then I did send her a note back or whatever, but whatever happens with that. But again, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But all these things going on, I'm going to tell you again, all these things going on have to do with energy. And with that energy is a time frame. Just like you see humans, like everything humans do in the electronic world has a time stamp on it, whether you know it or not. Even nowadays, like I said, nowadays, I mean, I went to computer school in 2013, and that was the first thing they told us. Because, like I said, it was down in South Jersey, a little racist where we were at. So that was one thing, like the owner of the school and his teachers was trying to tell everybody. Nowadays, it wouldn't be wise to steal. It wouldn't be wise to steal any equipment because it's all boom, boom, boom. And it's very easy to find stolen equipment because of modern technology. And bam, bam, bam. So that's like the first thing they try to teach us the first day there. Because they saw a bunch of black guys coming in and they said, okay. That's when all the chains started coming out. Equipment started getting chained to whatever and all that. Now, I can't speak for all these guys. I don't know these guys. I just met them the same day they did. I can speak for myself. I'm not into shit like that. But I can't vouch for somebody else. I don't know what those guys may or may not have been into. So is life. So what can you do about all of this? I just told you. You have to learn that everything is planned for a reason. See, this is why I'm trying to talk. This is why people don't relate to me. Because to relate to me, you have to use that brain God gave you. And not only do you have to use the brain God gave you, you have to use it based on spirituality. Real spirituality. Not this fake ass shit you see out here. Because when you start to use your brain the correct way, you start to put your trust in all these spirit people that are all around you trying to help you. And you start to make better decisions of the type of people you want around you and stuff like that. You stop tracking people who maybe... It's like you got to really think about it. Sometimes you track a female, right? So how can I get her to notice me? I mean, this is not me. I don't do this, but some people do. How can I get her? Oh, I'll take her out. Or so you're already kind of like bribing her for her affection, taking her out, treating her, and bribe. So she's never investing in you. Is you're bribing her to get to know her. But that relationship, what's going to happen when you can't do that no more? Or what's going to happen when y'all start arguing? And this is why y'all end up breaking up. And now you're paying her a large sum of money every month. And if you don't come up with that money, guess who's going to jail? See my point? Whereas if you slow down a little bit, you met somebody who sees relationships not as a meal ticket, but they actually see a relationship as something we both got to work on it. See, when you look at that picture, that's how our friendship was. Obviously, that's a real friendship because it lasted the test of time. And obviously, she went through this whole cold world that we live in. And when she thought of somebody that had really been a friend to her, obviously it was me. And when she contacted me, obviously the friendship was real because I remembered her. So that's why the universe sent this video and sent this thing today to bring that out about real friendship, real spirituality. I got another guy out here online that I recently gave him an award because he's the only guy I know that's been a real friend. Because everybody else, whenever any type of expose comes out as far as you bringing something to somebody's attention, instead of them going, you know, you're right, but they run away because that's not a real friend. A real friend, they may not like that expose coming out, but they don't necessarily just leave the friendship. So it either stands the test of time like this redhead did, or they go through the differences and arguments and mad at each other, but you're still friends. Those are a couple of ways to show real friendship. And if you're looking for somebody to be in a relationship with, it would have to be somebody that's got some freaking type of character and stuff like that. Like that delivery female, she really wanted to have a conversation. She really did. She is so cool. And what was so cool about her, she really wasn't in a rush. You know, because you think of a delivery person, they're like, oh, I got to get back. Or, you know, when it's dark and you're in a neighborhood you're not really used to, you're like, let me get the hell up out of here and shit. But she was totally different. So that's how the universe talks to you. Look for that person that's totally different. Not a vanity female. Not a female that's going to rush through everything. Not a female that's a drama queen. Not a female that only sees with her eyes. You understand? So for anybody that was listening, I gave you all a whole bunch of different females in this video and showed you which ones opened up, which ones were nice, which ones had a conversation, or what it took for a female to, you know, stop looking at me from a racial viewpoint. You know? And I guess as my mother said, I guess my respect for my mother, whatever it took, but whatever it took, that other one that was kind of racial, she was cool after that. She stopped looking at me like she felt like she didn't feel comfortable or something. But that was in her own mind because I had no problem with nobody else that came over. It was just her, and she was like that from day one. It was just some racism she had, and the only thing that made her stop seeing me as maybe a threat was to see, I don't know, the interaction between me and my mother. I really don't know, but I knew it was it was after that day that she was totally different. So that's it for this video. I'm out.